This is Dave from Cheap Books, playing World of Tanks, and I would like to talk about the skills and perks for the crew members. You have a set of common skills and perks, and you have skills and perks that are specific. This, for example, is for the commander. And in some cases, if I have a loader, a radio operator, a driver, a gunner, and a commander. If I were missing one, let's say I didn't have a loader, the commander would probably have the loader skills here, and my advice is not to use them. So now you have to decide which are the skills and perks you want for your crew. I feel that the most important skill or perk is definitely camouflage. If they can't see you, they can't shoot at you, you have a very big advantage in the game by having camouflage. So my recommendation is that you use camouflage as the first skill for every one of your crew members. And I haven't done that for all of my tanks, but I definitely do now. Repairs, I think, are also important. You want to be able to repair as quickly as possible. I bring 2 repair kits when I go out, the small and the medium, so it doesn't always come into play, but repair kits are a very important skill. I highly recommend you use the repair kits, and I would recommend you make that the skill for all of your crew members, your number 2 priority. Your commander has the recon, which is very important, and I do recommend recon. It's kind of like camouflage. It allows you to see a little bit further. So for the commander, I would skip the eagle eye. It's not very useful. I would save mentor for last. I wouldn't use it right now. We've got jack of all trades. I wish I hadn't picked it. I should have picked recon instead. But I can switch it if I want to. And then there's another one called Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense is very good, but you have to wait until 100%. Definitely use Sixth Sense. It's a great skill. It works when it's not the type of thing where sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It works. If you're spotted, it lights up. So what you want is for everyone to have camouflage first and perhaps repairs second. For the commander, you're going to want that Sixth Sense. You're going to want the recon. And you're going to want the repairs and camouflage. However, the Sixth Sense, you have to research 100% before you can start using it. So what you can do is you can use camouflage until it gets to 99%, and then you can pay to switch it to Sixth Sense. And then when it gets to 100%, you get the Sixth Sense, and then pick camouflage again for your second skill. Jack of all trades is good. It allows you to replace some of the skills if your other if the other people in your vehicle get knocked out. However, my experience is that in most games my crew members don't get knocked out. So you're always going to use the camouflage, so I recommend you get the camouflage. You're always going to need recon, so I recommend you get recon. Repairs you might need. Obviously your vehicle, my belief is that you get repairs before you have injured crew members, so I do recommend repairs, but you can get the 2 repair kits instead. So let's move on to someone else because they have different skills. This is a gunner. A gunner has repairs, firefighting, brothers in arms. He's also got snapshot. Improves accuracy during turret rotation. Honestly, if I had to do it over again, I would not have picked that. A designated target makes target enemy vehicles visible for 2 more seconds. Definitely. I would definitely pick that perk because obviously the more you can see a target, the more you can hit it. And if you've got this perk and the rest of your team doesn't, that means you're going to see the enemy when the rest of your team doesn't, and that means you're going to have an advantage because you can be the only person firing at that enemy vehicle, and you can get damage, you can get kills. The designated target is very important for your gunner, and you should get it. Now, obviously, if you have the money, what you want to do is get a skill like camouflage, When it gets to 99%, you pay to switch it to designated target. When it gets to 100, you make camouflage your second skill. That's the way you do it. Armor improves accuracy of a damaged gun. It's very rare that you damage a gun. Maybe 1 out of every 100 games, so I don't recommend it. Deadeye increases the chance to cause damage to enemy vehicle modules and crew. I would recommend that. I would definitely recommend it. However, it is a perk, which means you, just like designated target, you have to get to 100% before you can use it. So you want to get something like camouflage. When it gets to 99, you switch it to Deadeye. It gets up to 100%, and then you add camo to the next perk. So if I had to do this over again, I would have designated target first, I would have Deadeye second, and then camo, and then repairs, and then I would get firefighting, and then maybe some of these others. Now let's move on to the next person, which is the driver. The driver has controlled impact. It's very rare that you ram another vehicle. I mean, you could easily play 50 to 100 games without ramming another vehicle, so I'm going to say don't do it. Smooth ride improves accuracy when firing on the move. To be honest, unless you have a fast tank and you're always firing on the move, I really don't think it's a high priority. Preventative maintenance. Reduces the chance of engine fire. I rarely get engine fires, so I don't recommend it. Clutch braking. Vehicle traverse speed. I would say that this is useful because it's something that you always do. You're always spinning your tank around. So I would say that clutch braking is a good idea. Off-road driving reduces ground resistance. I would say yes. Performance while driving is pretty important. So I would say that's another good idea. I would say that the clutch braking and the off-road driving are a good idea. Skip the controlled impact. Skip the preventative maintenance. Maybe get the smooth ride. Get the camouflage as soon as you can. And the repairs. And then obviously firefighting. Or perhaps have one person who's a firefighter. I don't remember which guy it is, but we'll see. That was the driver. Let's see what's next. Radio operator. Excuse me. Okay, we've got extends view range, camo. Okay, reporting enemy positions an extra 2 seconds, signal boosting, relaying. Some of these are pretty interesting. Now, the call for vengeance, I don't think I would waste my time with that. When you have the higher tier tanks, they all have great radios in them. So I would say that things like the signal boosting and this other one here, extending view range, I don't know. The signal boosting sounds like it doesn't really matter because, like I said, when you get into the higher tier tanks, it takes you a long time to build up these skills. You're going to have radios that have a good range. So I would say that the signal boosting probably is not the best option, even though it sounds like it is. Relaying extends the signal range. It sounds like something good. However, does it make you more experienced? Does it get you more enemies? I don't know. Like I said, when you get into the higher tiers, your radios are really good. So it might be good for the lower tiers, but the higher tiers won't be as important. Situational awareness extends view range. I would say yes. You want to extend your view range. However, be aware that there is a limit. I think it's 500 meters, and after that you can't extend it any further. So you want to get your camo, definitely. It hides your tank. You want to get repairs. I would say that skip the call for vengeance, get the situational awareness, And in terms of signal boosting and relaying, you know, you're going to have to make your own choice on that one. Let's move on to the last person, which is the loader. I'm going to look at his skills. I think, it's the loader that really doesn't have anything good. He's got intuition, waste of time, forget about it. Adrenaline rush. You have to have less than 10%. And you load faster. I don't know. I mean, how much of the game do you spend with less than 10% of your hit points left? I would say skip it. Safe stowage. I don't know. I mean, how many times does your ammo rack blow up? It doesn't blow up that often. So I would say skip it. Therefore, you're going to get the camo and you're going to get the repairs. And perhaps firefighting. I don't think that these are that great, but if I had to pick one of the three, I would probably take Adrenaline Rush. And keep in mind, 90% of the game you're not going to be using this. 90% of the game you will not be using this because you're going to have more than 10% of your hit points. Intuition is switching shell types. You should figure that out on your own. It really isn't going to make that much of a difference. Is that the last guy, the loader? Okay. Now, I say try to get camo and repairs on as many tanks as possible. And you're going to say, well, it's camouflage. Is it that important? The answer is absolutely yes. I have seen tanks where the enemy was right in front of me and 100% invisible. And when I say right in front of me, I mean shockingly close, like a block away, a short block away. And I've had too many games. I was playing a game once, and right in front of me I saw a telephone pole fall down, and I could not believe how close it was to me. Let me see if I can come up with an example. So you see my tank right here, and you see these cars in the background. I would say that if you can't see that distant car, then he's got great camouflage. And I've had more than one occasion where tanks that were that close were invisible to me because I didn't have the ability to see them, and they had great camouflage. And it's a great advantage. I've played games where I literally sat out in the open, saw the enemy, he didn't fire at me, I would take my shot and run, and do it over and over and over again because I had great camouflage. It's, I think it's my IS-6 and my IS-3. I'm going to see if I can find that tank. My IS-3, three of the four have the camo fully researched. Plus I've probably got recon. I've got recon also. So this is a nearly invisible machine. I've got great hiding skills with this. And if you're using a tank destroyer or a light tank, like this E-25, you're going to be invisible to the enemy. And being invisible is a huge advantage if you can run and take shots at them and they can't see you, but you can see them. Huge advantage. I definitely recommend you focus on camouflage whenever you can. So those are the skills and the perks that I recommend. In case you have any questions, the perks, you have to research 100% before it activates. The skills, for example, recon, if it's 87%, you get 87% of the skill, or maybe it's logarithmic. But for something like Sixth Sense, you have to wait until it reaches 100% till it activates. Another thing you're going to see is there's this little check mark over here, accelerate crew training. I know it's confusing, and I don't really understand it 100%, but I use it. I use it because I want my crew to be trained. And I think what it does is, over here you've got this experience, this free experience they call it. I think you get less free experience in exchange for more crew experience or something like that. So I highly recommend that you accelerate crew training, but I'm not an expert on it. There's people who have done research to see how it really works, and they can give you a better idea. You want to have an experienced crew. An experienced crew gives you a big advantage in the game. Anybody can go buy premium rounds, anybody can go buy guns and tanks, but to get an experienced crew takes a long amount of time and practice. I don't think you can buy it. I don't think you can pay to have the experience. You have to earn it. So it's a key aspect of the game.